the 2024 NFL trade deadline has wrapped up, and with it comes the grading of several vital deals. While assigning grades immediately after the trades is always tricky, a few deals stand out for their potential impact or lack thereof. First, the Tre'Davious White trade. Ravens receive CB Tre'Davious White, 2027 7th-round pick. Rams receive 2026 7th-round pick. Ravens grade C+. Rams grade C+. The Ravens added White as a low-risk, high-reward move for their secondary. If White can contribute, it's a win, but the potential upside feels limited. For the Rams, the trade is mostly about moving on from a player no longer fitting into their defensive scheme, and the minimal return reflects that. The Preston Smith trade follows a similar theme of low impact but sensible moves. Steelers receive D/OLB Preston Smith. Packers receive 2025 7th-round pick. Steelers grade B. Packers grade B. The Steelers needed to solidify their pass rush depth with Nick Herbig's injury. Although past his prime, Smith can provide valuable support behind White and Highsmith. For the Packers, moving on from a veteran with limited future impact clears space for younger talent, which is brilliant considering their long-term plans. In the Mike Williams trade, we see a move that doesn't inspire much confidence for either team. Steelers receive WR Mike Williams. Jets receive 2025 5th-round pick. Steelers grade C+. Jets grade B. The Steelers took a gamble on Williams, but the 30-year-old receiver has struggled to find his footing in a new offense post-ACL tear. While the price was minimal, it remains to be seen how much he can elevate the offense. The Jets moved on, recouping some value for the underperforming receiver, which was likely the best they could do given the contract and fit issues. One of the most exciting deals came with Marshon Lattimore. Commanders receive CB Marshon Lattimore, 2025 5th-round pick. Saints receive 2025 3rd, 4th, and 6th-round picks. Commander grade B+. Saints grade B+. The Commanders add a top corner in Lattimore, a critical defensive piece to upgrade their secondary. Though costly in terms of draft picks, Lattimore's proven ability makes it a reasonable investment. For the Saints, parting with Lattimore allows them to secure valuable draft picks, which are essential for navigating their challenging cap situation. The Jonathan Mingo trade also stands out for its potential to reshape both teams' futures. Cowboys receive WR Jonathan Mingo, 2025 7th-round pick. Panthers receive 2025 4th-round pick. Cowboys grade D. Panthers grade A. This trade feels like a desperate move for the Cowboys to fix an underperforming offense. However, Mingo must do more to justify such a significant pick return. On the other hand, the Panthers made the smart move to cut bait on Mingo, securing a solid return for a player who was quickly becoming irrelevant in their offense. The Za'Darius Smith trade was one of the most impactful moves for a team on the rise. Lions receive Za'Darius Smith, 2026 7th-round pick. Browns receive 2025 5th, 2026 6th-round picks. Lions grade A. Browns grade C. With their best start in decades, the Lions make a clear push for the playoffs by adding Smith to bolster their defense. Though not a direct replacement for Aiden Hutchinson, Smith provides significant value. The Browns, however, get a minimal return for a Pro Bowl caliber player, signaling a rebuild that might not be as impactful immediately. Lastly, Baron Browning is traded from the Broncos to the Cardinals. Cardinals receive LB Baron Browning. Broncos receive 2025 6th-round pick. Cardinals grade B+. Broncos grade B. The Cardinals get a solid talent to bolster their pass rush at a low cost, addressing one of their most significant weaknesses. For the Broncos, It's a reasonable return for a player with no long-term future in Denver, with their pass rush already strong. Lastly, the Cam Robinson trade, while odd, does fill an immediate need for the Vikings. Vikings receive OT Cam Robinson. Jaguars receive 2026 conditional 5th-round pick. Vikings grade C+. Robinson is a stopgap solution for the Vikings at left tackle, but his pass play could have been more consistent. This trade represents a long-term gamble for a team struggling to stay relevant in the NFC North. The 2024 trade deadline was full of moves that might not reshape playoff races, but each tells a story about teams either preparing for the future or attempting to address immediate needs. The impact of these trades will become more apparent as the season progresses. Jaguars trade grade B. The Jaguars received a solid return for an impending free agent in Cam Robinson, who had been benched in favor of Walker Little. Trim should be able to handle the left tackle role, ensuring Trevor Lawrence's blindside is protected for the rest of the season. This marks the end of a nearly 8-year tenure for Robinson, Jacksonville's longest-tenured player. While the Jaguars may have been better off parting ways with Robinson earlier, they avoided the situation dragging out until the end of the season, instead securing an asset before the compensatory pick formula took over. Trade grades. Ravens receive Deontay Johnson, 2025 6th-round draft pick. Panthers receive 2025 5th-round draft pick. Ravens grade A. The Ravens weren't expected to be buyers at the deadline, but GM Eric DeCosta pulled off a steal. While not having the best season, Johnson can provide an additional weapon for Lamar Jackson and a dynamic force in the receiving corps. The price was minimal, making it a low-risk, high-reward move. Johnson's potential to revitalize his career on a contender makes this a win for Baltimore. Panthers grade D. The Panthers are still rebuilding, and moving Johnson for such a low return is a questionable decision. Though Carolina's roster is talent-starved, the trade didn't bring back significant value. With Carolina reportedly covering most of Johnson's salary, this trade looks like a missed opportunity. Joshua Uche trade grades. Chiefs receive LB Joshua Uche. Patriots receive 2026 6th-round draft pick. Chiefs grade B. The Chiefs' pass rush has struggled, and Uche could provide a much-needed boost. His numbers in New England haven't been mind-blowing, but his potential as a pass-rushing specialist could be valuable to Kansas City's defense. If Steve Spagnuolo can maximize his usage in favorable situations, this could be a shrewd move by the Chiefs. Patriots grade B. New England gains a future pick for a player who had limited involvement in their defense. With the team planning to be active in free agency, a compensatory pick from Uche's potential departure might not have been on the table, so this trade makes sense from a value perspective. Ernest Jones 4 trade grades. Seahawks receive LB Ernest Jones 4. Titans receive LB Jerome Baker, 2025 4th-round draft pick. Seahawks grade B. Jones' return to the NFC West could be a good fit for Seattle's defense, especially against the run. However, giving up a mid-round pick for an off-the-ball linebacker with an expiring contract raises questions. Seattle's playoff chances seem uncertain, and they might have been better off addressing this need in the offseason or via the draft. Titans grade B+. Tennessee moves on from Jones, but they collect a valuable 4th-round pick in return. The Titans' rebuilding efforts were already in motion, and this trade aligns with that strategy. By recouping a draft asset, they've set themselves up to address more pressing needs in the future. DeAndre Hopkins trade grades. Chiefs receive DeAndre Hopkins. Titans receive 2025 conditional 5th-round draft pick. Chiefs grade A. The Chiefs needed another weapon after injuries to Rashee Rice and the struggles of their receiving corps. Although not the dynamic player he once was, Hopkins can still offer a big target and provide stability for Patrick Mahomes. At a minimal cost, this trade could pay huge dividends down the stretch. Titans grade B. Considering their disappointing season, Tennessee moved on from Hopkins, which was a logical decision. The return of a conditional fifth-round pick is adequate, but it's clear that the Titans are focused on their long-term rebuild. The trade was necessary, but Tennessee's issues remain vast. Amari Cooper trade grades. Bills receive W.R. Amari Cooper, 2025 6th-round draft pick. Browns receive 2025 3rd-round draft pick, 2026 7th-round draft pick. Bills grade A. The Bills secured one of the top wideouts available at the deadline. Cooper can be a game-changer for Josh Allen, especially with Buffalo's struggles beyond Stephon Diggs. Although Cooper has had issues with drops, the potential upside for the Bills is high. This was the best possible move, given their salary cap constraints. Browns grade B. Cleveland was right to make this move, acknowledging the downward spiral of their season. The third-round pick is solid, but it's not a significant step forward in solving their issues. The trade signals a necessary rebuild, but it's just the beginning of what promises to be a long process. Davante Adams trade grades. Jets receive W.R. Davante Adams. Raiders receive 2025 conditional third-round draft pick. Jets grade B+. The Jets needed another weapon for Aaron Rodgers, and Adams is a proven performer. Even if Adams doesn't return to his peak form, he'll still provide value as a critical target in the Jets' offense. This trade could significantly impact, though it depends heavily on Rodgers' health and play. Raiders grade B. Given Adams' unhappiness and the team's struggles, the Raiders had little choice but to trade him. The return is underwhelming, but clearing the path for a rebuild was necessary.